We're live.
We did it.
Yep. Walked in, went live. Hello, everybody. It's January 2023. This is the ConcreteCMS Town Hall. Thanks for joining us for an exciting new year of developments and awesomeness. I'm Franz. This is Andy. We're here to talk about concrete. So let's see. We'll jump right into it. Where's my agenda? News. We killed Slack. So we had Slack set up many years ago when Slack first came out. We moved our own organization away from, what was it, HipChat that we were using?
Yeah, for a minute.
ECQ, whatever the hell we were on. It seemed like, oh, it's time to move to this new platform. We moved on to Slack. That was super cool. We were like, Slack is great. So we started up a Slack for concrete. Some of the community members wisely pointed out, hey, we're kind of spreading ourselves thin. We can't be on all these different communication channels, can we? But we're like, nah, we're great. And we ran it for a little bit and it was nice. But over time, that proved to be the case that, taking our community and putting them everywhere means that the answers end up everywhere. And Slack is particularly challenging because you have to pay for it or you can't search old stuff. And $9 a month per user for an open source project just doesn't make sense. So it became a little frustrating because the good conversations that happened there would just slide away as people would just add more to the 10,000 messages. And we decided last week to kill it, so it's gone. We are going to be focusing conversations around the forums. You will see more of Evan Cooper in the forums, making sure that forum threads are getting answers and are showing up in front of us when they need to. And in that vein, can I present? Let's see, share screen. Really just the window. How about this one? There we go. There's Andy's jaw. Delightful thumbnail.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
Yeah, and that really makes it's time for some dental work with that.
Can really work on the thumbnails. There we go. That's more professional feeling. Look at that. So we do a thing here at Portland Labs called Find Out Friday, where after our staff meeting on Friday, where we're checking in on our numbers and how things are going, we set aside a half hour to an hour for the newer devs to pepper the older devs with questions around how do things actually work. We've been doing this for a little bit now, and we've been recording the videos, so we have a little bit of a backlog that we can dribble out over time. And this most recent week, Evan had been kind of monitoring some questions here in the forums around how do boards work, because they look powerful, but they're very confusing. Brought that to Andy's attention, and we all got a 54-minute rundown of how boards work. And pretty interesting. Like, you definitely get a better sense as to like how all the pieces go together by watching this video. And then you'll also see towards the end, look at me thinking a little bit of how we kind of work internally and ways that we're imagining boards could mature so they are easier to get started with and that kind of thing. So very cool. Starts a discussion. You can see some comments there. So you should check this out. If you haven't, you should look out for Find Out Friday stuff in the forums moving forward, because it is good, and documentation gets updated as part of that as well. All right, how do I remove that? Boom. Okay. Jumping back to other news. We have some cool stuff that we've been working on for really the second half of last year. We've been working on a new hosting model and a new marketplace, and those two things are starting to come together. Andy, how do we want to do this? Do you want to share your screen or should I share mine? Click around as I talk.
Why don't you share yours?
Okay. See what I can pull off here. Let's see. Present. Slides. Nope, not slides. How many slides? Share screen.
I think your mic is better than mine too.
That's fine. See what I can get away with here. You'll drive me in the right direction when I screw up. So this is a stage that we're actively beating on, so you'll have to forgive us if it's in any way wonky. You should have been able to, you can see this stuff right now. We have today on a live site, you can create a demo and you're basically using this same platform. Internally, we call it Skyline. And what it really is SaaS hosting for concrete. So you don't get access to the files behind the scenes. We manage upgrades centrally. We can put installs on different upgrade paths. So if we want to say, look, we have these sites that are going to stay V8 for a while, and those that are on the V9, or these are always running constant, we can do that. So that helps us kind of support real world client needs. But we can also hit a magic button here centrally, and everything will automatically update, which is pretty cool. This thing is not getting called
it's
back.
It's a little strange because I noticed that you've got, if I look behind the curtain, I can see that the site that you're making is actually installing, but for whatever reason, you're not getting the live feedback, which is odd because I didn't have any such issues with that today.
Yeah, well, our stage is a stage. But you can see, like, here is a list of sites that I have provisioned on here. And if I go to one of these guys, this is a little bit different than what you see live. First thing you notice, you can purchase a hosting plan. So this is all powered out of Stripe, and that means we can easily give you a 15-day trial. And if you build something that you like, it can just mature into hosting, and Stripe does all the recurring billing for us. It's just very cool. You can also see down here, this stuff is new, that there are extensions. So this is actually pulling from a completely new marketplace that we've built, Marketplace 2.0. It is a standalone copy of Concrete that is using the new API stuff that is all packaged up in 9.2 to serve information about these add-ons and themes. And I already clicked add, so you'll just have to imagine, well, look, I'll click this one and say, look, you can add it to the site. It'll actually tell me, look, there's different ways that you can buy this. So because we're not letting you just download a package file and run away with it, first thing is we can give you a trial so you can check out whatever image gallery you like for 15 days before we bill you anything. And the second is we can have different pricing models. So here we have a monthly versus annual, but we've actually built into this the ability to do custom metered metrics. So we could do things like, hey, there's an enterprise extension that gives you a bunch of stuff that makes sense to a mid-sized organization, but it costs something per user because you're building an intranet and that's the way you're expecting to buy stuff. In the big picture, as a developer, you could make your own metered metrics. So maybe you want to build a commerce add-on and charge people a different amount based on how many products they're selling or how much volume and whatever currency you're working on they do. All that is now possible. And safe and sane to do because this is all coming at you in a hosted model. Much like WordPress.com, you do not have access to the actual source behind the scenes, which means it's a lot easier for us to believe that you're not going to break stuff. It's a lot easier for us to provide some basic support. And honestly, for more than 50% of the sites that we get feedback about, people aren't really building custom templates and designing themes from scratch. An awful lot of people just need a website that works. So this is a platform that would give that to you. And you can see here, these are the things that I have added to this project. I don't think all these have files associated with them, so I can download this, which actually means side load, I guess. Like,
it's downloaded to your site at this point. So now if you go in, if you log in and install it,
so download it, puts it over here. And you can see I already installed Krista and that worked, which is pretty cool. But if I go to extend concrete,
then if you refresh
that's where they would show up.
If you refresh that list of add-ons, then it'll probably show that it is now installed. That's a distinction because not that one, the one on the Skyline hosting control panel. There's it will show you that it's installed, which we do that so that we can. The distinction exists so that we can do things like do add-on updates and things of that nature. So, dueling themes.
Look at this. Let's see what happens now. Buckle up. What happens there? Well, we're loading something. Okay. Cool. What am I going to have on the website?
Probably just Krista, because it's probably still the active one.
I don't know. Krista used to have a logo in the corner. I think this is the other one. Pretty cool.
Guess, yeah.
Just works. So yeah, there you go. We're pretty excited about this. We're going to be launching this fairly soon here. Let me remove this guy and just talk.
Yeah, and also it's probably worth mentioning, and just to drill home the point, like all of this happens. This has all happened without you having to pay for anything. So if you go back to the hosting control panel, the site is in a trial mode. And this is different than the sort of demo stuff we've got up on the live site today. Like there's no way to take your sites just expire in the demo platform today. But at this point, when you create a site, it will expire in, 2 weeks or whatever the threshold may be. And then it just goes away. But until that happens, you're free to add whatever you want extensions wise to your site. You don't have to put in payment information for any of this stuff. But when you go to purchase the hosting plan, everything that you have added just kind of gets rolled up into a single bill. And then it just goes live either yearly or monthly, or, whatever thresholds we set.
Yeah, that's right. And it's remarkably clever. It'll prorate the difference between time periods. Like Stripe's cool. So really happy to not have to rebuild all that stuff that we started with our own bank and marketplace a decade ago. And yeah, eager to see this going. Now, we will not be porting everything that is in the marketplace over. In fact, we will be doing some cleaning up of the marketplace here in the coming months. There's stuff in there that has not had any attention in a while. There's stuff that doesn't work in version 9. Doesn't look like it's gonna.
Won't work in PHP 8. This is becoming a significant impediment at this point to modern web.
It's we live in a bold world where you got to keep things upgraded. So
yes.
It would be cool if stuff that worked a decade ago just worked forever. But sadly, because everybody uses the internet and some people like breaking things, that's just not how stuff goes. So we are going to be going through the marketplace. John has already started this process a little bit, looking for things that have bad reviews, unanswered support questions, missing screenshots and demo sites. Like if your stuff looks abandoned, we're going to start turning it off. It doesn't do anybody any favors to have a huge paging interface, but stuff in there that looks unsupported. We also are going to have to eventually migrate this stuff into Marketplace 2.0. There is no web interface for this outside of this hosting platform yet. There will be eventually. There'll be a way for you to install this stuff on your third-party site. We will continue to kind of offer that subscription model as just the standard way that software works with Concrete in the future. So, if you buy Krista for $35 a year and host it on your own site, well, that's great. You get your copy for $35, and in a year, we're going to bill you another $35 so you can keep getting version updates. Because in the past, we haven't done that. It's not really fair to developers to ask them to do security updates and that kind of thing for the rest of their lives for $35 one point. So all that stuff will be moving to a SaaS model, although obviously we won't be able to do things like, do it monthly. So I think that kind of lower barrier to entry stuff will only be on the SaaS platform, and then we'll kind of make a line and say, look, up above this, it's a year and out license you can have for full download and enjoy the source. And if you don't want updates, don't pay for another $35 and run fast and loose for all we care. Anything else on that? I feel like that.
I think so. I think that's about
probably covered. Spur some questions. Oh, I guess the last thing I would say is we're probably never going to have the complete marketplace in the SaaS model. So, we've picked a handful of themes that we're going to be moving over here that we think are kind of the best work today. And as new stuff emerges, we'll be eager to put that there. But our expectation is that people coming here want a certain level of polish and simplicity. And they also are going to expect that when they open a support request or a ticket, that we can actually give them a meaningful answer. And so if we just blindly let people install everything that you could from the larger marketplace, we think we're going to end up with a bunch of broken sites and a bunch of support questions that we can't really answer. So there's always going to be a bit of a walled garden where the stuff that's available here for your SaaS hosting is kind of the middle of the bullseye, and then there is a larger pile of stuff that we might offer for more savvy developers that want to install stuff on their own sites and are willing to get a little bit more hands-on. Okay, that is what I know about that. If you guys have any questions about it, happy to talk about that at the end, or we will keep an eye on the forums to see if more questions emerge now that we've shown this stuff, because we've been working on it for a long time. We're getting close to a kind of beta launch here, and I'm pretty excited. Okay, Andy, do we want to thank some people from the community for
Sure.
keeping the project rolling here?
Yeah, let's do that. Let me pull up that list. All right, thanks everybody. A little bit of a slow month last month because internally we were focused on all this stuff and also, of course, the holidays. But still, even with the holidays, we've got our intrepid crew just helping us out. So thank you for code submissions from Biplob, hissy, mlocati, and mnakalay. New issues in GitHub from bvessen, Lemonbrain, katzueno, mlocati, ccmEnlil, worxadmin, mnakalay, n5ts, boendermaker, tschuffi, Sixtomatic, michaelvalenti, webtop, JohntheFish, chemmett, hissy, dimger, and MarcinPrzepiorka. And thank you from katzueno and Rory Nicholson within the documentation section. Very helpful. Excellent. As always.
Thank you very much. Appreciate all of you. It's really cool to be part of something that's bigger than just us. So yeah, it's been an awesome adventure, and it continues to be. So appreciate all of you helping. Let us move into the Golden Baton. So every month we have a particular prize. It's you get $250 in site credit. You get a special badge. You get a nod from us, and also really from the community. So the Golden Baton, much like a baton in a race, is handed off from one person to the next. Last month it was given to Jero, and this month he actually sent us a video. Let's see if I can do that. If we can, nope, those are settings. If I can check in with come on, nope, that's the other one. Let's see, stop screen, present, share screen. There we go. This is the one. Boom. No. Come on. We can do it.
As we say in New Zealand.
Oh, come on.
You'll find me at the top of an extinct volcano, and I'd like to thank friends for.
What's going on?
We're having some bandwidth challenges here.
That's so funny that our bandwidth is like, uninterrupted, and then whatever's going on here is like, no, we're throttling this.
Let's see if I can bring this whole thing down. Let's try it this way. If we download you. Oh yeah, that's part of the challenge. Oh no. Hold on a second. Well, we're just going to do a little jazz hands here while we deal with our audio-visual technology issues. Let's see if I remove that. Pretty cool, calling in from New Zealand. Never been to New Zealand, but looks awfully pretty in the background. Okay, here we go. File up. This is going to work better. I'm excited already. Okay, and now. Present. Here we go.
I don't think I can hear it. Just an FYI.
Why can't you hear it? I think that it's because it's a WebM. Okay, well.
Stands for web mute.
Web mute doesn't work. I'm sorry, Jero. Jero is here in beautiful New Zealand and is very happy to be recognized by the community. We're happy to have recognized him. And he is passing the Golden Baton along to a much beloved community member that has been around for a very long time. Actually from my home state, and having out here for Cascadia deal that we did a few years ago, has helped countless people, hundreds of thousands of karma points. Mr. KarlDilkington.
Very helpful.
So congratulations, Karl. Much deserved. And my apologies, Jero, for our audio-visual challenges. We'll see if we can do better.
So I can't complain. Probably can't complain too
like
much.
the video, I just couldn't make the audio work. So I blame Google. But there you go. Congratulations to KarlDilkington. Hopefully in better audio visual land, let's see if we can check in with the PRB. Again, pretty light month, what with it being the holidays and all, so I don't think we're going to have much to check on, but I do think there is one cool one to do. So let's jump over to that right now and hopefully have fewer audio challenges.
I can't hear it either. Can other people?
Really?
Yeah. It's...
What the hell? Something has changed. Can't hear this one either. I can hear this one. What is going on, StreamYard? Well, that's annoying because this is how we always did it in the past. Let's see, maybe I can upload it, although I think it's going to be a little bit big. Let's see, video file.
I hope you all had a great start of the year, and I wish you a wonderful 2023 from everybody in the PRB team.
Yep.
Today PRB video is going to be a short one with just one package approved this month. This new package is Form Reform UTM by JohntheFish. And John, my friend, I have to say this is one misleading name. First, because Form Reform UTM will not only work with Form Reform, but also with conditional redirect. And second, because although it is set by default to work with Google UTM tags, you can make it work with any tags you want as it's all configurable. So how does it work? A visitor comes to your website with UTM or other tags in the URL, for instance. Post variables are also okay. And the tags are then saved in the session or a cookie. And from there, you can use that information either in Form Reform by saving the data when a form is submitted, or using the data to trigger specific actions after the form is submitted. Specific messages can be displayed or emails can be sent, for instance. Or you can use it in conditional redirect to show specific pages or content or run A/B tests. This package really brings Form Reform and conditional redirect in the marketing and user retention world. Form Reform UTM is Concrete v9 and PHP 8 compatible and costs $30 in the marketplace. And now allow me to seize this opportunity for a community announcement. For the first time in months, the PRB review list is currently empty. And if anyone has an add-on or theme you were thinking of submitting, now would be a great time. Thank you. See you all next time.
Ta-da! They have caught up.
Wow.
All right. All right.
Get to it.
Yeah. Now's a good time. We just showed off the new marketplace and how much more accessible your work will be to the community, and also different ways that you might actually monetize it, where it's not just a one and done deal. So if you've ever thought about, hey, could something that I've built in the past help make me money in the future in a more passive income model? Yes, it could, and we'd love to see your work in there. Okay, let's see, what do we have here? Oh, here we have a smiling face, and our tech problems are adorable. Yes, we think so too. yeah, StreamYard's fun. Don't know why. What worked last month doesn't work this month, but there we are. All right, we're into the Q&A section. I have one in this document, also from MarcinPrzepiorka. Let's see. This is long. I'm just going to read it. Friday's meeting was great. I think that's the Find Out Friday about boards. I'm even more pleased with the announcement repairing the installation of all atomic functionality in case of installing an empty version. I think that's talking about if you install concrete today and you pick nothing, you get elemental, not atomic. We'll probably change that in the next core release. The idea of working with boards seems pretty easy once you have access to it. Well, cool. Although I've read from the code side, it's quite confusing. Yeah, that could be. There's a lot going on. Should be clearing up a lot of problems. That's cool. I'd like to address another issue. Wow, what Franz mentioned, it's blown my mind. I didn't even dare think you could do something like that. Oh no, what did I mention? Oh, Figma to ConcreteCMS. Yes, okay, so in the end of that video, and Find Out Friday, we were talking about how do you say this quickly? How in Concrete version 9, there are a number of ways to kind of build what we would call atomic design elements, like a stripe of content and functionality put together. And we've got containers, and then we've got these various templates that go into boards. And it's a really cool way to think about the web. But as is our nature, we've kind of started from the bottom up. And so there's all these different ways of doing them that you might need as a developer, but it's a little intimidating as a designer. And so we were talking about ways that we could maybe reduce the learning curve there and make that more of a design-centric process, where you could say, I want, this idea of an image, a title, and a paragraph, and I want to create that and then have it populate containers and boards and different things. And I mentioned in passing, it'd be cool if there were a widget for Figma that you could actually export from, because Figma is really cool. If you haven't used Figma, you should be. And there are export from Figma to HTML add-ons. So in the abstract, it seems possible. But yes, certainly not easy, and all sorts of challenges that would raise, as Marcin is pointing out, like what grid system are you using? And how does Figma produce code that's not just garbage? I don't know, probably would. It's a bit like Russian roulette. Yeah, I agree with that. However, the idea is very good, maybe done with some time. Yes, I thought it was a good idea that could be done in time. But it's worth staying in your backyard first and unleashing all the powers and capabilities of Bootstrap 5 in the form of easily modifiable blocks without much need of programming. Already, such a solution would bring many designers. I don't know exactly what that means, but sounds interesting. Yeah, so I think that's the basic jive. I'm not sure if that's a question as much as a enthusiasm for our Find Out Friday video, but I appreciate that either way. I don't know, anything to add to that, Andy?
I don't think so. I think it's definitely something to keep in mind. We certainly want to make sure that we have a workflow from the tools that are the most popular, and it's probably telling that some of our more popular theme building screencasts from a decade ago and perhaps a little bit more recently, they always come from Photoshop, which is cute, but not necessarily the way people are building sites today in 2022 and 2023. So I want to make sure that we keep that stuff up to date, and continue to explore ways to work with those tools for sure.
Yeah, we don't even have a Photoshop license anymore. I let that expire. I was like, why? I can do everything I need to in Figma, and it's loads a lot faster too. So yeah, I get why they bought it. I don't know why they spent that much on it, but pretty cool. All right, well, let's see if there aren't any other questions. Jump over and check if anybody's got something for me in Slack. Nope. All right, well, it's been a half hour, and like I said, last month was December, so was pretty busy on lots of stuff, but pretty excited to be launching the new hosting platform, Marketplace 2.0. So be on the lookout for that, working its way into ConcreteCMS.com. and start thinking about different ways that you might package up your work and offer it in the new marketplace, because we're excited to have it. That's what I know. Thank you much, everybody, and we'll talk to you in a month.
Bye. Thanks.